Good morning. This is Sangeetha from Civil Department, ESP College of Engineering, Karur. This guest lecture deals with the Unit 2 of Environmental Impact Assessment, which is impact identification and prediction. This chapter consists of three major topics. First one is methods of EIA, and second part is analysis of EIA, and next one is prediction tools used for EIA, and the last one is assessment of impacts, which is matrices, networks, and checklists are the different methods of EIA. And cost benefit analysis and analysis of alternatives comes under analysis of EIA, and mathematical tools which are used for prediction comes under prediction tools. In the assessment of impacts, air, water, soil, noise, biological assessment is included, and finally a cumulative impact assessment is done. The important methodologies which are used for assessing environmental impacts are ad hoc method, checklist method, matrix method, network method, overlay method, environmental index, cost benefit analysis, and the last one is predictive or simulation methods. And these might vary from simple to complex, that is, from piece to meal approach. And the EIA is moving away from simple listing of impacts to complex modes involving identification of impacts, feedback paths leading to higher order impacts. This approach is considered as an overall management techniques requiring different formats along with varying different levels of expertise and technological inputs to accurately forecast the planned developments. Matrix method. This methodology provides a framework of interaction of different activities of a project with potential environmental impacts caused by them. A simple interaction matrix is formed when project actions are listed on one axis, that is usually vertical axis, and environmental impacts are listed on the other axis. This technique was pioneered by Leopold et al. In 1971. It is about 100 project actions and about 88 environmental characteristics and conditions. The advantages are it links action to impact, and this is a very good method for displaying AA results. Disadvantages are it is difficult to distinguish between direct and indirect impacts using this method, and there is a potential for double counting of impacts. It is qualitative in nature and it does not refers to the quantity impacts. This slide shows you the simple example for matrix checklist. And the first column deals with the activities of the environmental impact assessment, that is land transformation, land use, water resources, such as. And the upcoming columns in the table will give you the adverse effect or beneficial effect or no effect. In this, we can simply put X or tick under the appropriate column, which gives you the matrix checklist. This is a simple form of matrix checklist. The slide shows you the cells of the matrix, which is divided by a diagonal, and the top division is used to describe the magnitude of the impact and that activity will have on the environmental aspect, and the bottom division is used to describe the significance of that impact. This slide shows you the example of Leopold matrix, which consists of both the magnitude and the significance, which is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. This is subjected to the surveyor and it is based on the baseline data collected. And if a cell has no number, that it means the activity has no impact on the environmental aspect. This matrix was developed by Leopold et al., so hence its name is given. Disadvantages of Leopold matrix is that it does not explicitly describe spatial and temporal effects of the environmental activity. It merely gives us the magnitude and significance of the interaction. Second, it tends to be too simplified when you require a comprehensive analysis of the impacts on the project area. A numerical value of the magnitude and impact is not sufficient for a contractor to understand the impact their activities are having and why they should overcome it. Third, they cannot explain linkages between the environmental aspects. In other words, it does not describe about the secondary and tertiary impacts. It gives the main account of only the primary impacts. And next we will see the network method of EAA methods. This method uses the matrix approach, but it extends to include both the primary as well as secondary. In the previous method, it includes only the primary impacts, not the secondary impacts. And it is in the form of a tree called impact tree. And this diagram is also called as a reference or sequence diagram. Identification of direct, indirect, along with short, long-term impact is a crucial and basic step of making an impact tree. And this impact tree is used to identify cause-effect linkages. The impact tree is a visual description of linkages. The advantages is it links action to impact. It is useful to check second-order impacts in a simplified form. It handles the direct and indirect impacts, and the disadvantages are it becomes overly complex if used beyond a simplified version, and it is completely qualitative in nature. And this slide shows you the example of network method. From the slide, it is clear that it is one process interlinked to the other, and it is the network of pulp mill impacts, paper production, which leads to the plant construction, generation of dust and particulate matter. And since dust and particulate matters comes under the category of air pollution, and particulate matter leads to the increased turbidity of water and discharge of gases, chemicals, and solid water. So, due to the discharge of solid water, there is a possibility of land pollution. So, this is the example for a network method of analysis. And the next method is checklist method. This is the last method which is described in the syllabus. In this method, the environmental factors are listed in a structured format by giving importance, weightings for factors, and application of scaling techniques for impacts of each alternative. Checklists are strong indicators of impact identification. They effectively garner their attention and awareness of their audience. It is a fundamental process of EIA. The checklist method is classified into three types. First one is simple, and second one is descriptive, and third one is scaling or weighing type. Simple method of checklist consists of list of parameters without any guidelines regarding their interpretation or measurement of environmental parameters or specific data needs or impact prediction and assessment. And the second method is a descriptive method, which includes list of environmental factors along with the information on measurement, impact prediction and assessment. And the last type is scaling or weighing type. It depends on decision making, such as checklist or strong and impact identification. While including the function of impact identification, they include a certain degree of interpretation and evaluation. The aforementioned methods, about three methods, are attractive to decision making analysis. The limitations of scaling and weighing methods. The simple and descriptive checklist simply identify the possible potential impacts without any rating regarding their relative magnitudes. But in case of scaling and weighing checklist, removes decision making from the hands of decision makers, while they impart a single number to various infinitely different impacts. And this aspect prevents the decision maker to consider the possibility of trade-offs. The scaling and weighing methods are subjective and hence pose the danger of imparting equal importance to every impact. Another defect observed by critics is that numerical values assigned to the impacts can be derived on the basis of expert knowledge and judgment alone. The scaling and weighing checklist techniques quantify impacts reasonably as well. They use subjective estimates. However, they make no provision for accessing dynamic problem trends or mitigation, enhancement, and monitoring programs. These methods cannot identify the higher order effects, impacts, and interactions. And the advantages and disadvantages are listed as shown. It is very simple to understand and use, and it is good for site selection and priority setting, whereas the disadvantage is that it does not distinguish between direct and indirect impacts, and it does not link action and impact. And the last, it is very tedious at times. So these are the different methods used in environmental impact assessment, and the rest topics we can see in the upcoming series. Thank you.